This week we're featuring Topaz, Prey Night Under the Microscope Cam, Italian Bread on Why'd I Buy That, 7 new jokes, and natural content. Wait. Alright, I've got 3 intros to this thing, and I didn't get any of them. Italian Bread on Why'd I Buy, and naturally modified content. We modified that natural. Let's see. I asked my buddy if he listens to The Who. He said he prefers classy rock, so he only listens to The Whom. Let's start the show. Topaz. My favo. Favopaz. And there it is. It's got blue in it. Not sure why the camera doesn't like to capture the blue. Taking pictures of gems is so hard because the camera wigs out on weird light patterns. And then the crystal is, affecting the light pattern. And different crystals affect the light pattern in different ways. And whatever I'm doing, I probably dropped the gem and had to walk across the room to get it. There we go. Miss Topazica. Not sure how the rest of the song goes. This is the exciting part of the show. It has a blue zone in it. I took this picture with the photo box. The top left. The thumbnail pic. And it doesn't capture the natural light. The LEDs in there don't give natural lighting. That's got to be the problem. I'm going to have to get a different light source for that photo box. I have to get some sort of a natural LED light source. Wonder if I'll have to, wire something up separate. This is a nice tip. This topaz is a point. So it's really clean, and I didn't want to lose that side bit. I didn't want to just grind it away. I can dop that up, make a little dunker out of it or something. Some kind of a little fastener cap or something. So I decided to save it. I used the edge of the wheel to grind that off. It kind of worked-ish, and then I used the little chisel there to pop her loose. Poink. And there she goes. That little semi-polish let me clean it up just enough to know that there's no cracks that I need to divide it in half with. Which we can show it under the microscope cam and take a better look at it. Hey, there it is. And there you are. How's it going? This is actually a piece of iolite, kind of like the piece of iolite that you gave me to cut a while back, except this is a lot darker. It's very, very dark stuff. A lot of the iolite I have is very dark, and this piece is really big compared to a lot of it. A lot of it's really small. It's got this big chunk of like marbling in it. I should probably wet it down so we can see through it a little better, but I wanted to take a look at it because it's pretty clean for how big it is. Speaking of clean, look at this topaz. Yeah, that's the one up in the corner. Pretty nifty, huh? It's all like blingity bling. Yeah, actually, it's got a little more blue than the webcam is showing. If you look at the blue inside the video, that's got the natural lighting. That's the blue inside this topaz. And so that's why I cut this one for Mercedes. So I told her that on Facebook, so she saw that. And yeah, now that I'm getting into jewelry, I can mount it on like a pendant, and then you can make it into like a necklace thing or something. Yep, there we go. It's got a real spaceliness. It's kind of like ice. It's kind of fitting to cut this stone this time of year and have it look like a chunk of ice. You know, it's like this storm frozen in a gem. All the little inclusions are just kind of like sparkles inside of it, you know? Because even though it has the inclusions, it's mostly pretty clear quality topaz. So it's got a nice reflection to it. I'm pretty happy with it. I like when I cut a gem for someone and it just works out, you know? So that's the topaz. And here's this piece of iolite, which it's translucent, but it also it changes with how I turn it because of the light coming off of the screen here. See if I can get a flasher on it. How's it going, country bread? Cheers, man. There you go. You can kind of see through it there. Let's put a little water on it and stick it under the microscope. Hope you're having yourself a nice warm, toasty, and relaxing preparational resting day for your week. That's what it is for me. Rest up and get ready for the week, man. Recharge your batteries, all that kind of stuff. If you got batteries, if you're like a robot or something. It's got a little bit of blue to it. It's got this like marbliness in there too. Yeah, that's showing a little bit better. I need to polish it. It's a 240 also. Warm now, did snow removal since Tuesday. Woof. I know what you're talking about, man. It's good exercise actually getting out there and shoveling some snow. As long as you're bundled, you know? Because if you're out there freezing, then that's not safe. I mean, it's not comfy, but it's not safe. And you don't even get a good workout like that. You gotta. There's a difference between pushing yourself and abusing yourself. Yeah, this thing's gonna be cool. I just need to decide on a finished product. Because, like I say, it's not like I can just look at it and say, oh, there's the best angle. And because then I have to turn it to see if I caught the right angle for the color. And then I have to rotate it and spin it. And it's 53 properties every day, 9 to 15 inches around the clock. Whew, 9 to 15 inches. See, the thing is, like, at 15 inches, it doesn't matter if it's, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter if it's wet snow or if it's like the fluffy snow or if it's that tiny little ice crystals that counts as snow. Because it's all heavy. I mean, your plow's gonna bunch, and when it's like so cold that it's like sticky, the sticky snow, that's how it's been lately. It's very it just wants to stick to everything because it's like minus degrees. Speaking of sticking, I'm sticking on the show. Facts. Today it was 4 degrees, right? Okay, this is a natural piece of prehnite. This this is all part of the cleave except for that. That's a saw mark. But this is all part of it grows in these like triangular like chunk areas with these little ball shapes on them. So I just kind of wanted to take a look at it under the microscope. Probably going to polish the sides of it up and then we'll see if we got anything neat there. The color's not that bright, but neither am I sometimes. I don't hold it against me. Speaking of holding it against me, I should have salt on why I buy that, right? Uh, Country Bread, how do you feel about salt? Like not eating salt. I mean, who doesn't love eating salt? There's a reason that it's everywhere. They put it on every table. It's a staple of life. But what about, walking on salt? Because, like, people talk about it eating the concrete, and I've seen that. I've seen it do that. I mean, that's salt. It'll pull loose the acid bonds. But I didn't buy salt. I just shovel and walk carefully. It's good for my balance, and if I fall, I got a nice, Thanksgiving was good, buddy. I got a fat old booty bottom that I can land on. That's what this is about. That's why I eat extra, Donuts are great for icy conditions. My big booty bottom will mess up a floor. That's no doubt about that. That's why I try not to fall down inside. The salt will mess up a floor. Yeah. Italian bread won't mess up a floor, but so that's the picture of the chocolate. I didn't have the other picture of the Italian bread. Apparently, I didn't take it. But they didn't have any Italian bread at Aldi's, which is why Lois suggested, she was like, while you're in town, check out Aldi's. And I was like, all right. And she's like, while you're there, pick up some bread for me, can you? And so, yeah, and it was a thing. So I'm picking her up some bread, and they don't have any. So what did I do? I delegated the task. I asked someone and I stopped. It was busy in there, but I'm like, I'm busy too, And so there's like no line or anything to go talk to these, but it's just like people are busy and they're doing stuff, and I'm like, all right, I can't find it, so I got the person and I said, hey, where's the Italian bread? And they were like, oh, it's in the back, it's frozen. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't think it matters because I think Lois said she didn't need it that day. She said she needed it the next day or something. So anyway, that's what I did, and that's what I bought, and that's why I bought that. Have you ever delegated a task? And have you ever bought Italian bread? And why did you buy it? Because, I mean, money's pretty cool. If you don't like your money, you can give it to me. I will not complain. I will even, I'll be thankful, you know. But that's the thing about the money is that I like it. So if I like it, you probably like it too, which means why would you trade the thing that you like for Italian bread? Was there something about the Italian bread, about the packaging, about the pricing, or is it a memory of Italian breads from years before? Is that why you bought it? I mean, that's what I bought, and that's why I bought that. I don't have a lot of jokes this week, but I do have a funny one, maybe. Let's see. Reports show that people take pictures of bridge workers because they're riveting. Oh, we're getting a new bridge in the area. Yes. Reports show that people take pictures of people who are working on tall buildings because they are riveting. Stay tuned for sports and weather. Speaking of sports, they're all canceled and the weather is cold. Close the freezer. Let's see. My buddy asked me, he's like, hey, do you listen to The Who? I said, I prefer classy rock, so I only listen to The Whom. And he's like, well, let's go try and sing some songs, you know? We'll go to stop by this Indian restaurant. On Saturday nights, they do karaoke. It's a spicy way to sing. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's go do this stuff. You know, you got to live because I'm finding out I'm getting a little older. And when I was in my 20s, I learned a lot of things, you know, but I learned a lot of things from people in their 30s. And now I'm older than all those people that I learned those things from, which makes them stupider than me because they're all younger than me, which makes everything I learned from them useless, which makes me stupid, which fortunately allows me to identify as being 30. Edgy material. Zing! Let's see. Speaking of going out and drinking and stuff, I had a kayak show up in my suggestion feed, and usually I try to throw off the algorithm. You know, I give it I don't like it being too into whatever I searched for, and there's certain things that are advertised. So I just search for like gold and dainty undies, and it doesn't know what to recommend. But this time it had showed me a kayak when I had just enough beers to think it was a good idea. And I was like, that looks like fun. I mean, I've got water right, you know, nearby. It's right there in my bathtub, you know? I can kayak every day after work while I clean up, paddle up while I bubble up, surfs up, more like suds up. And it'll probably involve a few suds. Speaking of which, I'm tired of singing in the shower to an audience of no one, so I put googly eyes on all the shampoo bottles. They're always so excited when I take, and they're all looking down. Kind of a little strange. I started wearing a towel in the shower, but you know, they all subscribe to my OnlyFans. Which what was that? My only you can find me on OnlyFans at Tenderloin. Um, which they are tender now because on our way home from the karaoke, we stopped by a massage parlor, and it wasn't like the licensed massage therapist parlor where you can get your insurance involved. It was more like the open late, and they have a neon sign outside, and you pay cash over the table type. But they are pretty good at tenderizing up some pork. And I got some A1 sauce with that. And it was nice and fresh. Just like the joke portion of the program. I use it. I use things. I don't use things. That's why the joke portion is what it is, brother. And the thing is, I've got all these jokes like chopped up, and I'm trying to make them all categories. I'm trying to get more into a natural flow. I feel like that had a little bit of flow to it, but it really, to be honest, it helped that I showed up to Jeannie's open mic earlier on Facebook. And so I want to give a shout out to Jeannie Kim. She is amazing, and she's doing a lot of great things for the comedians. I really appreciate that she takes time to organize those. I feel like googly eyes on the soap would make me feel violated. Yeah, they're all okay. It's kind of like where is it at? I think it's this one. Nope, that's me. It's this one. Nope, not that one. Here? There. Yes. Okay, so true story with the Ghostman action figures up there in the corner that are looking. The first one I set down, it was all static cling that was pulling the two eyes together in that like cross-eyed pattern. And then the one next to him, the eyes were looking straight down, and I kept tilting him up so that he was looking towards the beard scratcher keychains. And I think on like the fifth time, by the time I got my camera out, his eyes stayed and didn't fall straight down, just like they do on the shampoo bottles, or would if I actually did that. Speaking of which, you're all fantastic. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you all for putting up with my attempts to make the show better. We're growing week by week. And hopefully we'll grow more next week and every week at 9 p.m. Eastern.